You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Well, hello and welcome to episode 295 of the Soul Forge podcast.
Welcome to the Soul Forge, a place of silent mystery, quiet contemplation, and outright mayhem. Join your host, Shawn Vanderloo, as he guides you through the adventures of living. Together, we'll talk about life and love, sex and dating, joy and heartache, memories and loss, and so much more. Don't worry, it's not nearly as pretentious as it sounds. Get ready for life, the universe, and everything on the Soul Forge.
Hey everybody out there in podcast land, it's your host Shawn, and I am excited to be bringing you this brand new episode of the Soul Forge. It's been 2 weeks since we last recorded, and wouldn't you just know it, I'm just starting to record and somebody is out there with a lawnmower making noise. Hopefully the microphone doesn't pick it up and this is all good, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, 2 weeks ago was the last time we released an episode. And what an episode it was. My good buddy Paul, all the way from the UK, if you hadn't listened to that last week's episode, he came to Canada to visit his aunt in Toronto, and he flew all the way up here to Sault Ste. Marie just to see me for a couple days. So he and his wife did that. I'm sure you listened to that episode from 2 weeks ago, but if you haven't, well, that's what happened. He came here, he had some real Canadian poutine, he had some beaver tails, not actual tails from beavers, but it's a pastry with all kinds of sweet stuff on it, really messy, super tasty. The unfortunate thing is, he tried the poutine, or poutine, as the non-French people say, but we didn't get the official stuff with the cheese curds. All we got was the shredded cheese, and that is definitely no way to have a proper poutine. And, of course, why am I saying poutine instead of poutine? Well, because I lived in Timmins for 20 years, and all those people up there are French, and if you say poutine, they look at you like you're an idiot. So, living in the French area, and it's a French delicacy or creation or whatever, they are the ones who created the thing. They call it poutine, or actually they call it poutine. I can't say it because that's too French, but anyway, that's what it is. It's poutine, whatever. That's what Paul had. He got to try it, kinda, and he loved it. So, great visit. He made it back safe, and we were supposed to record another episode of our podcast, the Cosmic Pizza Podcast, today, but circumstances are preventing that, so it's just me doing this one here for you guys and girls out there in podcast land, and next week we'll record another episode of Cosmic Pizza. We also do the Epsilon 3 podcast that you should be listening to. That's a Babylon 5 rewatch show. So if this is your first time here on the Soul Forge, now you know that I'm responsible for 3 different podcasts. The Soul Forge, the Cosmic Pizza, and the Epsilon 3. Epsilon 3 and Cosmic Pizza are done with my buddies Paul and Dan, and Cosmic Pizza recently got a 4th host, Casey. She's a girl. She has her own podcast, and she's won awards for it. So you should definitely be listening to Cosmic Pizza Podcast. All right, so now that's all out of the way. What's been going on? What's been happening? You know what? I've got nothing to really talk about because nothing major has happened. I could talk about the war in Ukraine that's still going on. I could talk about the floodings and the fires and how it feels like it's the end time. Or I could even maybe talk about how prices are insane and nothing's affordable. But everybody knows all about that stuff. So why am I going to talk about that? I'm not going to do it. But what happened that was very sad was I washed my Apple Airpods in the washing machine because I left them in my pants pocket and forgot all about them. And so they got washed and dried. And just so you know, that doesn't work. They're clean now, but they don't work. It's very sad. One AirPod kind of worked for a short time, and no, it wasn't good. So now I'm sad. So I ordered a pair of, what were they called? Monster Clear Talk something or others off of Amazon because they were only like $40. So I gave those a try, and they are the most uncomfortable things I've ever tried in my life. They hurt my ears. They don't pick up calls. The controllers don't work, so I have to return those. So I already printed out the shipping label and did all that stuff. What a pain in the arse that is. So I've been using wired headphones like a peasant from the 1980s. What the hell is going on with my life? So that's very sad. I don't know what I'm going to do. I need to get some wireless ones that actually are nice. So if any of you out there in podcast land have an idea of some fairly inexpensive earbuds that would work, that are Bluetooth, that you can actually just hit the side to answer a call, that would be good. Unless I have to go ahead and spend the $200 on a pair of official AirPods, which I'd rather not, because the first ones I got were a birthday present, so I didn't actually have to pay for those either. So that's my struggle. The struggle is real. All I want to do is listen to podcasts while I'm out there delivering the mail, and I can't do it very well because I got all these wires or uncomfortable earbuds. It's such a struggle. Oh my goodness. Okay, that was a little bit overly dramatic and whatever. But yeah, if any of you out there know of a good manufacturer, I guess, of earbuds that kind of work like Apple Airpods, that would be good. You can let me know at soulforgepodcast@gmail.com. What else is going on in the world of Shawn? Well, I've been trying to get a hold of my son to come to visit me here in the Sioux, because he still lives in Timmins. It's not easy to get a hold of that boy. He does not like to answer texts. He gets them, but he doesn't respond very often, so that's sad. So we've been going through his mother as an intermediary, and the boy is 17 years old. He's going to be 18 in December, so he really needs to learn how to communicate. But we have figured it out. He is going to, well, I'm going to go get him at the end of July. So he'll be here for a bit. He doesn't know how long he wants to stay for or what he wants to do. He's not very communicative, like I said. So yeah, I was going to pick him up this coming weekend, but apparently there is the launch of some video game thing that he's been waiting months and months for, so he can't leave the house until, I guess, he's played it for a few weeks. I'm not really sure. So anyway, teenage children are a lot of fun. I talked to my buddy Frank, who's a teacher, and he says, yeah, 90% of the male population don't really communicate very well, and all they want to do is eat and play video games. And that's my boy. So we'll see how that visit goes. Maybe we'll do a podcast episode with him on it and talking about his life and his goals and what his motivations are, I suppose, if he has any, which I'm not sure that he does. But thinking back to when I was 17, did I have any motivation? Girls. I liked girls. Does Bishop like girls? I don't know what he likes. He doesn't really talk, so maybe I'll have grandkids one day. I'm not sure. If I do, that's great. If I don't, well, I guess that's not the worst thing in the world, especially with the end times coming. Actually, that's what it feels like. A lot of memes out there about that. Floods and fires and the end of the civilization. Who knows what's going to actually happen, but what I did the other day, it went on sale, was I ordered from Amazon some, what are they called? Well, let me just pull it up on my phone here, because I still have that in my wish list, and I'll tell you exactly what they are. And is it a good purchase? I don't really know. I haven't actually tried them because I'm saving them, but it's called BDH 900 High Energy Biscuits. So what it is, it's a tin box with 18,000 calories. It's got 20 bags of meals ready to eat emergency food ration bar in an iron tin box. Long shelf life for crisis preparation. So you get 20 bags, and in each of those bags is 4 bars, And so those 4 bars, you're supposed to eat them every 3 hours, and that's supposed to be enough calories to last you the entire day. So with 20 bags of 4 bars, that's 20 days. So I've got that here sitting under my bed in case the end times come, or you can use it just for going out for camping or for hiking or whatever, just emergency food, just in case. So I did order that because it went on sale, and really I just wanted the tin box because it looked pretty neat. And it's almost 2 years ago that I started prepping for the end of the world by getting camping supplies and stuff. So now I've got some emergency ration food that would last me almost 3 weeks. So that's pretty decent, I guess. I don't know. But that's what I did. And then I saw that because today's the second day of the Amazon Prime deal day, it went on sale again for the same price. But I don't need it because I already have it. So there you go. But you know what I don't have? I don't have a good transition into this promo for another podcast right here on the ESO network.
Clang.
Clank.
Clonk. We got some beer today.
Yeah, beer.
Big boys. But our podcast isn't about the booze.
It's not just about
It's not
clinking
just
things.
about drinking and clinking things.
Oh, you're right. It is about, like, nerdy things
Nerd
and comic
stuff.
books and video games and movies and...
Nerd stuff.
Yeah.
If you like anything nerdy, grab a drink and be nerdy with us.
Join us.
But first, let's talk nerdy.
And we're back. Wasn't that a great promo? Aren't you going to go check out that podcast? I'll bet you are, because that is very exciting. So what else is happening? Well, this weekend coming up, my buddy Jarman from the A Play on Nerds podcast network is getting married. Yes, congratulations, Jarman, on getting married. I don't know if you're going to have a chance to listen to this before that, because you're very, very busy. I didn't get an invite to your wedding. I'm very sad. Paul and Dan also did not get invites. I guess that's okay because you're way down in Florida, and I probably wouldn't be able to make it anyway. So this 15th of July, he's getting married to his fiancée, Jolie, and I'm looking forward to seeing the pictures. He's a great guy. If you're not checking out and listening to the A Play on Nerds podcast with Stephen Jarman, well, you need to, because it's great. And speaking of podcasters getting married, my buddy Jeremy from the Fandom Squad podcast is also getting married. He's getting married in October in a castle in Georgia, and he has or is going to send me an invite. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it because that's, well, the Thanksgiving weekend here in Canada, and it's a bit of a ways to go as well. But the best part of all that is in September, Leah and I and our friend Amanda are going to Disneyland in Orlando, Florida, because, as you know, Leah is a travel agent and she gets the deals. I have never been to Disneyland, Disney World. I'm not sure which one it is. It's the one in Florida anyway. And so we're going to go there for 3 days and go park hopping and do all that kind of fun stuff. It's going to be my first time ever. I'm very excited. I've wanted to do that since I was a little kid. And I guess I'll report on how much fun it actually is. So we'll see what happens. What else is going on in my life here? Well, I'm not getting married anytime soon, so there's that. This is episode 295. We're almost at 300. I would love to hear from any listeners that have been listening for a long time and hear what you've learned about my life, about life in general, things you've learned from the podcast. Once again, soulforgepodcast@gmail.com. Send me an email or an MP3 or something. I would love to play it on the show. Episode 300 in possibly 5 weeks. Hard to know. I've been doing every 2 weeks. 2 weeks in the summer because it's hard to come up with ideas and get guests on the show and all that kind of fun stuff. And the downloads have actually gone down quite a bit. Maybe because it's summer, maybe because you guys are tired of hearing my bullshit. I'm not sure anymore. But we're almost coming up to, the 6th year anniversary of the show too. That's at the end of July. And so, yeah, exciting times here at the podcast. And really, I guess that's about it. I've got no life lessons. I got to look for new headphones. I'm looking forward to my son's visit, and hopefully he has fun. And other than that, I guess that's it. Jarman, congratulations on your upcoming marriage, and I want to see lots of pictures and videos. Other than that, I hope you guys all take care of yourselves and each other out there in podcast land. And until next time, remember, the secret of getting ahead is getting started. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Soul Forge podcast. Your support is greatly appreciated, and we hope you'll tune in again next time. Remember that you can visit soulforgepodcast.com for all of our social media links, and don't forget to share the show with everyone you know. The Soul Forge podcast is your best source for living your best life.
Think about it.
But at Chez Toussaint, a modern snack bar, it's all about the details. And Chef Michele Forgione is a stickler.
I'm here to learn about poutine from you.
Amazing.
And am I pronouncing this right? Poutine?
Oh, you know?
One time.
Poutine.
Poutine.
No, poutine.
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 Poutine. This is going to be long.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.